Hey everybody, so today I'm going to be talking about solo Walt Disney World trips. Now, if you watch my channel you'll know that I do a lot of solo Disneyland Paris trips, but on this occasion I'm just going to be talking about going solo to Walt Disney World from the UK. I've had quite a lot of people asking me about what it's like going by yourself. A lot of people I see on Facebook groups and stuff asking, have people done solo trips? What's it like? What was your experience? So I thought I'd just do a little bit of a summary about what it's like to actually travel solo. So the first thing to think about when you are going to go solo is, can you go by yourself? Are you comfortable in your own company? Do you think that you will be able to spend that much time by yourself? Because if no, then I would suggest not booking at all. Once you've decided, yep, okay, I want to go by myself, then you need to look into the planning. Now, planning a solo trip is a little bit strange if you've ever been with somebody else, because you get to make all of the decisions yourself. Now, sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's not necessarily a good thing, because some things you aren't sure about, you don't really have anybody to ask, what should I do here, what should I do there, should I do this on this day, should I book this restaurant, where should we eat? You have to choose everything yourself and you have to plan the whole thing yourself. So again, if you don't like planning and you don't want to plan, you could just go completely off the cuff and not plan anything at all, but you're still going to have to do your booking. You're going to have to book your flights, your accommodation, your transfers, if you're staying off-site, car hire potentially. So just bear in mind that if you are going to go solo, you are going to have to do some solo planning. Even if you don't go as far as booking dining reservations and fast passes, you are going to need to book your flights and accommodation and stuff by yourself. There is no real disadvantage to travelling by yourself. You don't have to pay more for your flights, you don't have to pay more for your hotel room. The only thing is you don't get to split 50% of the cost of the hotel room with another person, or 2 or 3 people, depending on how many people you travel with. So that is something to bear in mind. It does work out a little bit more expensive, because where you would split the cost of a hotel room, you're paying for the full room by yourself. So once you've booked, you've got your flights, you've got your hotel. One thing about the hotel that I stay at, I do request a higher floor because I'm by myself. I don't want to be on the ground floor with people walking past my rooms. The last 2 times I've stayed there, they have honoured that request, and I have been on the 5th and the 4th floors. Whether I'm going to get that again when I go in October, I don't know, but I have requested it just because of the extra security of knowing that not everybody will be walking past my room. It will only be people pretty much staying on that floor that would have cause to walk past. It's not going to be like somebody might walk past and see an opportunity. So that's just one thing to bear in mind. Another good thing is that you don't need to worry about seat assignment. If you want to sit together, then really you need to book your seats together. And if you're in a big group, then I would recommend probably, if your airline charges, paying so that you can sit together, because people will book up chunks of seats and you may get split up if you wait until you get to the airport to get your seats. Travelling by yourself, you're going to be by yourself. It doesn't really matter where you're sat, you're going to be in one seat, whether it's here, there or anywhere. So that's one good advantage to flying solo. I will take my seat assignment when I check in, which is 24 hours before. And I've never really had a bad seat sitting by myself, it doesn't really matter. Getting to the airport and checking in and everything, obviously you need to be able to carry all of your luggage by yourself, you need to be happy going through security by yourself, and then you have to entertain yourself in the departure lounge, which is really boring. And as you will see, I am normally delayed, so I end up having to sit there by myself, which is a bit of a pain because you don't have anybody to talk to. It can be a bit lonely sitting in the departure lounge, but what are you going to do? You're getting on a plane to Disney, so it's not too bad. Actually, on the flight, quite often I end up talking to the people sitting next to me. Flying out last time, I was sat next to a really lovely lady. They were in a massive group of like 50 people, and most of the flight they were sat somewhere else because there was spare seats on the plane. So I actually had the 3 seats to myself and I was sat stretched out, so that's quite nice as well. Something you don't get if you're sat next to a family member or a friend. I actually got to spread out, which was quite nice. At the other end, Immigration is scary. I hate immigration anyway, but going through it by yourself can be quite daunting. And I think you raise suspicions slightly when you're by yourself, because it's weird to them that people come through by themselves to the family vacation capital of the world. So be prepared for that. Again, you have to pick up your luggage by yourself, and then you have to go and, if you're hiring a car, you have to go and pick the car yourself, which I find quite stressful because I'm always thinking, what if I pick the wrong car? What if there's something wrong with the car? What if I hadn't picked that one, I would have picked another one? So it actually worked out quite well last time when they didn't have any cars to pick from, because I was given the car and I kind of took the pressure off. It's not difficult. Finding your hotel, got to do it by yourself. I have stayed in the same hotel twice now. I'm going to be staying there again. I know where it is because it's just across the street from where I used to live, so I know how to get there. But if you don't, I would recommend studying Google Maps, planning your route out and finding out where to go, or getting a sat-nav, either taking one with you or hiring one with the car so that you don't get lost, because if you're by yourself you don't have somebody to read the map for you. Obviously if you're getting the Magical Express, you'll be sorted, you just need to get on the bus and they will take you there. So then we come to the main question. What is it like going to the theme parks by yourself? Fine. It's no different to going with other people. The only difference is that you can do what you want, when you want. If you change your mind, it doesn't matter. You can go to the toilet when you need to, you can eat when you need to, you can be completely selfish, and if you're anything like me, completely run yourself into the ground without sitting down or taking a rest. So I would recommend, if you are travelling by yourself, make sure that you do take breaks, because those times when you're waiting for other people are actually times where you get to rest that you don't really realise when you're travelling by yourself. So that's potentially a disadvantage of travelling by yourself, is that you can just go and go and go and there's nobody there to say, hey, hold on a minute, let's have an ice cream or sit down. So sometimes I need to say to myself, okay, I need to sit down for a minute. But apart from that, you get to jump the lines when you're near the front and they have a party of 3 in a car that seats 4 and they need an extra person and they call for a single rider. Yeah, it's me. You get to jump to the front. Tower of Terror is particularly good for that. You get to ride things like Rock and Roller Coaster, Expedition Everest, Solo Rider, and it doesn't matter that your party will split up because you are your party. There's no problem eating alone. I mean, if you're really self-conscious about it, then it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but nobody really gives 2 hoots. They're worried about what they're doing, where they're going next, what time their next fast pass is. They really couldn't care less that you're sat there by yourself. And actually it's a good way to do table service, because if you're pressed for time when you're by yourself, the service is a lot quicker because you're not talking while you're eating. And if you're anything like me, you go in absolutely starving, hungry, and scoff it all down. So Yak and Yeti, I was only in there for half an hour. So it's a really good way to experience table service, food and restaurants without having to spend hours out of your day doing it, which is one of the reasons why I tend to avoid doing table service quite a lot of the time. Also, if you travel by yourself, a lot of your photographs are going to be selfies, because obviously you've got nobody to take pictures of you. A good thing about the UK tickets and the annual passes is they include PhotoPass and Memory Maker, so you can take advantage of that and you can get pictures of yourself with the characters and in particular locations without having to take a selfie, because that's what the PhotoPass photographers are there for. They will also take pictures with your own camera as well, so if you don't have the PhotoPass, you can still get pictures of yourself that aren't selfies, but that is something else to bear in mind, that you aren't going to have other people to take pictures of you. You are literally going to be selfieing it most of the time. So that's pretty much it. The main things to bear in mind are you happy travelling by yourself? Can you manage that, or do you normally rely on somebody else to help you with the planning and the travelling? And are you happy staying in a hotel by yourself? And are you happy going to the parks by yourself? Bearing in mind that in the 10 days that I went on my last trip, the only other conversations I had with people are, what are you doing today? Have you had a good day? How many people for the ride? And what would you like to eat? So if you think that you're going to miss having conversations with people and sharing experiences with people, then maybe perhaps a solo trip isn't for you. It can be a bit lonely because you don't have anybody to just go, oh my god, did you see that? Or what ride should we go on next? Or do you want to eat here? Or just sharing things with people, and I think that's why I vlog quite a lot of my trips, is because it gives me somebody to talk to. If I wasn't vlogging to the camera, then I wouldn't talk to anybody at all the whole time I was there, apart from interactions with cast members, waiters, waitresses and things when I am getting on a ride or going to eat somewhere. The rest of the time there's no one to talk to, so you do need to be prepared for that. You know, you're not going to be able to go on the ride with your friends, laugh at the pictures of other people, you know, in your group. You're not going to be trying food off of other people's plates when you go to the restaurants, so you can't all pick something different and share food. You are going to be eating by yourself. So I think, to weigh it up, if you are happy to go by yourself and just do things by yourself and experience them by yourself, then it's really freeing to do what you want when you want, and just experience things by yourself. If you like being with other people and doing stuff with other people, then probably a solo trip isn't for you.